Erling Haaland is back, but the question is, should he play? Because Manchester City fans know all too well that we've been winning lately. Lots and lots of wins for Manchester City fans to get excited about. In fact, the last 6 games Erling Haaland hasn't featured in, we've won 5 of those 6. And the last 2 games where Erling Haaland did feature was Brighton and Nottingham Forest. And we drew 1 and we lost 1. So there is a question out there that needs answering as to whether Erling Haaland should just walk straight back into this side. Now, it's a dangerous game. A very dangerous game to play when you're writing off the likes of Erling Haaland, because in all honesty, that guy very quickly rams your stupid ideas back down your throat by walking onto a football pitch and bagging himself a hat-trick. He's got a very good habit of doing that, does Erling Haaland, but still, as much as it's not much of a disrespect to Erling Haaland, I'm more focusing on the disrespect being shown to the other players if Haaland just walks straight back in and we change the whole system, a winning formula that Manchester City have found, just for the sake to incorporate Erling Haaland. Now, the board as well. Manchester City fans are going to definitely play favourites because for me he's a fan favourite. I mean, look behind me. Also, the fact that Erling Haaland is on a 9-year contract as well. So the idea of benching a player that's on a 9-year contract is the board might start asking, well, do you actually have plans to use this player, Pep Guardiola, going forward? I think yes. I think he can be incorporated even into the new system. And I'm going to show you how. But the system being a 4-2-2-2 system, and also that 4-3-3 that's been employed with Marmoush being heavily involved, I think Erling Haaland could still play a role. So have a look at this. This is my starting 11 that could potentially start to include Erling Haaland. So I'm going to go with Ederson, and Ruben Diaz and Vardiol are the back 2 centre-backs, with Nico O'Reilly playing at the left back, even though he got Player of the Month, and Player of the Month tends to get put on the bench when Pep Guardiola's around, doesn't he? So hopefully Nico O'Reilly gets some minutes. Nunes as well, which these 2 players are vital to the system that Manchester City have been playing in recent times with let's go with the 4-2-2 to begin with. So Mateo Kovacic alongside Ilkay Gundogan, and in front of them we've seen a bit of a combination of Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. And then leading the line, it's always been Marmoush, and it's been another partner. It's either been Savinho, it's either been McAtee, it's either been Doku, and recently it's been Jeremy Doku. Now, for me, this system has been brilliant for me, and it's the ability of these 2 to get up and down the flanks and play off each other, play off Vardiol, play off Kovacic, and work their way up the pitch, working off the players, and eventually seeing these 2 become part of the 4, as the 2s become 4s as they work their way forward. More often than not, it's one of them at a time, and the other one tends to stay back, with 3 of them holding the line, and then leaving that switch ball available to quickly stretch the opposition sides. But Nico O'Reilly has often become part of a 4, with Nunes and Doku and Marmoush coming forward as well, and Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne tightly in behind as well. But their ability to prevent counter-attacks as well. I don't see a reason why Erling Haaland can't start here for me and see him be a little bit more versatile. And we do need to see Erling Haaland improve his game, in all honesty, because I do think there's areas of his game that need improvement. The idea that just get in the box, mate, and wait for a cross to come in and get yourself a tap in or a header or something along the lines of that, it's, for me, it's not a long-term solution. I think he needs to upgrade and evolve his game, and I think he's got the capabilities to do it. We've definitely seen signs that he has got a decent first touch, and he's not too bad with his feet. We know he can do it, so I think he can do it in this system just as well. The idea that would be for him to be a focal point, though, and Marmoush drop a little bit deeper, and you could end up seeing it slowly over the course of the game turn into a bit of a 4-2-3-1 sort of system on paper, but with much more versatility to it, because these 2 will still want to get forward and potentially become a front 6 with those 5 behind Erling Haaland, and these guys preventing the counter-attack and breaking the midfield lines that we could go up against. So I do believe that we could see a system that includes both of these 2 players in Marmoush and Erling Haaland up front. And the idea that Marmoush and Haaland could play off each other as well would be exciting. What do the defenders do if you're the opposition side? Who do you mark? Because Haaland and Marmoush are lethal goal scorers, in particular Erling Haaland, but I think Marmoush is not far behind him as a fox in the box. So I think there's great options now for Manchester City, and I do think Erling Haaland can play in this system. But Southampton are the opposition for Manchester City, looking to achieve our 7th Premier League double over Southampton, which would be an unbelievable achievement. But Southampton are looking for achievements that they do not want. Absolutely do not want. One more defeat for Southampton would equal the most amount of losses in a Premier League season, which is 29. Sunderland, Derby and Sheffield United all equal in that record. And also, they are currently on 11 points. They are currently equaling the lowest amount of points ever achieved in a Premier League season, which was Derby County in 2008. They do not want to achieve that either, so they want one more point to get that ugly record off their shoulders, which Southampton do not want to take whatsoever. But Manchester City, on the other hand, we are looking at potentially getting our first back-to-back away win since August, which just shows the season that we've been having. But a reminder of what the Premier League table looks like so far, with Liverpool currently champions. Congratulations to them. But Arsenal, they are very much in our sights. Now, as a City fan, I know a lot of you will be looking down, thinking Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Villa, all potentially could catch Manchester City before the end of the season. But I'm looking up. I'm looking at Arsenal thinking, hang on a minute. I think we could actually do this, you know. You never know. You never know, with some tough games for Arsenal as well. They've got to play Newcastle as well. I think we beat Southampton, then Manchester City have all but done it. I think it will be done if we beat Southampton, because there'll be 2 games left. We could effectively afford a loss in that situation, with Nottingham Forest also facing Chelsea on the final game of the season, Newcastle facing Chelsea. It's a really, really tough run of fixtures for the sides beneath us, whereas Manchester City could arguably, having beaten Southampton, and if we beat Southampton, I think we've done it. I think that's it. We can afford a loss after that. But in terms of missing players, Manchester City are missing Rodri, Stones, Ake and Bob. Southampton are missing Albert Gronbach and Charlie Taylor as well. But don't forget, Rodri and Ake were actually featured in training recently, so you could potentially see them before the end of the season. I wouldn't rush it. Certainly not for the sake of an FA Cup at this point of the season. For Rodri in particular, I'd like to see him maybe in the World Cup. That would be exciting. But let's have a look at the predicted starting 11. As you can see, that's my predicted starting 11 for Manchester City. Kind of hopeful. I'm not sure Pep will throw Erling Haaland straight in. I would like to see Jeremy Doku as well, because I actually think there is an argument to say that maybe Doku should be starting ahead of Marmoush. I've gone with these front two because I think the idea of Haaland and Marmoush playing together is an exciting prospect, and I want to see it. I want to see more of it, but I've just put the players on the other side of the pitch. But let's do the Southampton starting 11 to finish off. Walker-Peters and Ryan Manning with Ramsdale in goal. I think those two are going to be operating as the full-backs, with Taylor, Harwood, Bellis, the former Manchester City man, as the right-sided centre-back, with Bednarek in the middle and Jack Stevens alongside him. I think in front of them you're going to see the solid pairing of Flynn Downs and who else did they play in front of them? I think Fernandez will play further ahead of them, in all honesty, if I can find the other players along Sulemana. We are missing a defensive midfielder, though, here. Ugo Chukwu, that's his name. No wonder I couldn't remember his name. Such a difficult name to remember. Ugo Chukwu. And Paul. That's an easy name to remember. Paul up front. Anuachu is his second name, but I'm going to call him Paul because it's easier. It's easier, much easier to remember. And that's starting 11 for Southampton. We should be beating them. We've got to get ourselves into this Champions League spot. I think we will. I'm doing a watch long. Make sure you tune in for that one as well. I'm going 3-0 Manchester City. What's your predictions? Get in the comments below. Make sure you tune in into the watch long. Like and subscribe to Typical City, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up Silva.